All right, there were a couple of win projections, win models that were put out today. One from The Athletic and one from CBS. Both had the Bears as an 8-win team for this season. On The Athletic's win model, that had them at 10th best in the NFC. If the Bears are an 8-win team this year, what does that mean for Matt Eberflus?
Oh, he's still going to be here.
Yeah.
But it will mean that I'm expecting more. I think the vast majority of Bears fans will be disappointed in an 8-win season.
Yeah.
That's a below 500 year again.
Yeah, and it's a 1-win improvement where, and then why are you only an 8-win team? Is it because the quarterback? Because if the quarterback's much better than Justin, and then you have better skill guys,
your record should be much better than 7 wins.
So what went wrong? I just think you're going to improve by more than one game. You're going to be above 500, even if it's just 9-8 above. That's my ground floor. That's my floor is 9-8.
By the way, Tyler, you and I were talking about this a little bit earlier. I sent you a text of the one that CBS put out. Was it CBS?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The guy that it was a kind of a small blurb. There was a ton of positive stuff, including, this offensive line is going to be pretty good. And then at the end of it, the guy goes 8-9. Like, if your offensive line is better
and your quarterback is better
and your skill guys are what they are and your line is better than what we think they're going to be, and you have them as a below 500 team, didn't you find that odd?
And if their offensive line is good, this team is winning 10 games.
Yes, I agree with that.
At least 10 games.
And then look at the start in their schedule. There should be no reason those first 10 games that they're anything less than 6-4.
It's funny you say that because ESPN's been running their fantasy football marathon, and one of the things that has flashed across the screen, now this is from a fantasy perspective, but they look at the schedules for the different teams and how cushy they are from a fantasy perspective for the regular season versus the playoffs. And one of the things I noticed earlier was for the Bears, they said the weeks 1 through 13 are very, very good from a fantasy perspective for their offensive players.
Yeah, those first 10 before the division starts. And then, so if they win 6 there, I'm expecting 3 at the very least in the division. Go 3-3 in the division. There's 9 just right there. So I'm expecting 9 or 10 wins from the Bears this season.
I'm not going to lie. I'm a little, not a little. I'm very surprised that there are so many 8 predictions.
I think there's a lot of fading that just people believe that there are too many people on who are buyers in the Bears.
I would just say to those people, though, they won 7 games last year with that roster. Now compare this roster with that roster, especially, I know he's a rookie, but at the quarterback position and elsewhere. And you're going to tell me that that's only good for one more win?
That's what.
And I just and then when you get these people that are making these predictions and they give you a line item list of things that are really good about this team, and then they drop we have them winning 8 of 17 games. I'm just like, wait, what was all this?
And again, not only did they win 7 last year, they could have and should have won 10. They lost the Detroit game that they blew within the last 4 minutes of the game. They were up 2 scores. They lost the Cleveland game, and they lost the Denver game where they were up 3 scores.
Are you saying they should have kept Justin and built around?
No, if they had a quarterback who could finish a game, they may have won a couple more of those games. It wasn't all on the defense. So, at the very least, you win 2 of those games. You come away with 9 wins last year.
I was reminded of the Detroit game watching receiver.
It's incredible. In the St. Brown family is rooting for Detroit and they're like,
yes.
The Bears aren't going anywhere. The Lions are. The mom and dad then, when both St. Brown brothers are going against each other, they're rooting outwardly for Amaranth St. Brown to win the game and the Lions to win the game. And his dad says the game's over. The Lions have lost.
He was wrong.
He says it's over. And we all thought this is a Bears win. It was I think 3:50 left and the Bears were up 12, right? Yeah. Wasn't it 12?
I believe so. Back to you, Tyler.
All right. So we've seen a lot of these different predictions and projections about what the Bears can be this year. And a lot of times you hear, oh, if the offense is good, this will be a 10-win team. This will be an 11-win team. But when you guys make your own prognostications about the Bears, where are you putting this defense? Where are you operating with what this defense and the potential of that unit is when you talk about what this Bears team can be? What is the baseline for the defense?
Go ahead, Waddle.
I'm factoring in that Dexter will play the 3 technique pretty well, and that somebody, somehow, some way, they'll get more production out of the other defensive end spots. So I think that the pass rush, the overall defensive line play will be better. To me, it's a top 10 defense. I'm not going to sit here and tell you they're going to be better than the Ravens or they're going to be better than the Browns but they are, to me, a top 10 defense that if they get another pass rusher, that pushes them, to me, into the top 5. Like if they had traded for Matthew Judon, to me, that's a top 5 defense in the league.
And that's the way I summed it up. Like if I could just sum it up in a few words, top 10 defense.
Yeah.
I like those turnovers will come and go, but they should have enough depth, especially with that linebacking core, with Sweat at least as a pass rusher and that great secondary, to be a top 10 in any way, shape, or form.
All right, so Waddle alluded to Bill Barnwell's article a little bit earlier about the 5 teams most likely to improve, and notably the Bears were not a part of that. I want to go through the 5 teams, and you tell me whether or not the Bears will have a bigger spike in terms of wins from last year to this year than the team that I name. All right, so let's start with the Los Angeles Chargers.
Chargers won 5 last year.
Mm-hmm. Now, Harbaugh, this is what Harbaugh does.
The number is 8.5 in Vegas, which is pretty high, considering some of the dismantling they've done as well.
I'm going from 7 to 10 for the Bears, so I think they're going to win 3 or 4 more games for the Chargers at least.
All right, the New England Patriots, who were 4-13 last year.
The Bears will make more progress.
I don't think that's a 7-win team.
I don't either. No, I don't think so.
How about the Washington Commanders, also 4-13?
And then back to the Patriots for a second, too. That division's really good. The Bills, the Jets, the Dolphins, that's a good division. And where are they getting their wins? With a rookie quarterback who's not starting right out of the gate?
I think their roster stinks, and you just took their best defensive player off of it.
Yeah.
I think this is a pretty easy one, even though I think we all expect this team to be great. The Kansas City Chiefs, 11-6 last season.
Yeah, they're not winning 3 more. They're not winning 14. So, again, how do you get better than 11 wins and winning the Super Bowl? I know they weren't a juggernaut offensively. They still won 11, and they still won the Super Bowl. They had to go on the road. So they may win another game and be they may look better in the regular season. But, man, winning 3 in a row, Belichick talked about this on McAfee yesterday. He's pretty good, by the way. He's a good coach, but he's more energetic in his presentation, and you always knew that would be the case. But he's like, it's so hard 3 in a row.
When not
Stuff
just
happens.
And don't even look at you can look at their record. I guess that's what we're basing part of this on. Their defense was fantastic last year.
Great.
Like in a lot of ways, that defense carried them across the finish line in several games. So, no, I think the Bears will make a larger win-loss move forward than the Chiefs. Chiefs could win the Super Bowl again with another 11-6 record.
Yeah, we're not saying that the Bears will be better.
No,
I just don't think they're improving more than the Bears.
Right.
Now, this is the last one, and this is an interesting one because I don't think any of us would pick them to make the playoffs, but could they make a bigger spike in wins from the Bears? And that's the Arizona Cardinals, who went 4-13 last year.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, Arizona with Marvin Harrison, and if Kyler Gordon stays healthy, Kyler Murray stays healthy. I like their coach too, Gannon. He's pretty good. I think they can win 7, 8. I don't think going to Arizona is going to be as easy of a game, as much of a layup. I don't think there are any layups in the NFL. And that's a game we're taking the family to, and it will be a very Bears-centric crowd. But I think that's going to be a tougher game than we expect.
Listen, they're coming from what's the number, Tyler? 5?
4.
4. Okay, so like they've got more room to grow. So I could see a scenario where they win 8 games, still a below 500 team, and the Bears win 9 or 10, and they've made a 4-game jump, and we've made a 3 or 2-game jump.
Exactly.
So statistically, I could buy the Cardinals doing it, but I don't believe the Cardinals are sniffing the postseason.
All right, last one here. Javier Baez makes his return to Wrigley Field tonight. And this is one of the games on my season ticket ledgers. And I am taking Shea Norling, who this morning, in case you didn't hear, he said he is going to be booing Javier Baez when he steps to the plate for the first time. And when presumably most Cubs fans will be giving him a standing ovation. And as he is the gatekeeper of shot or no shot, I ask you guys, shot or no shot, I should rescind my ticket invite to Shea.
No shot.
Well, I think there's some sort of a gentleman's agreement here, or at least some sort of a code where you're taking him. Are you offended if he boos?
If he was a Cubs fan, I would say yes. But because he's a Tigers fan, I think he's in the clear.
How about
I think Tigers fans have every right to be absolutely pissed at this.
Is this the right time? Or like there are so many games he could go to on the South Side and boo him in a Tigers uniform as a Tigers fan. This is the time that Javi's being recognized by Cubs fans. I would say I understand you fan the way you want to fan, except in this point, because this is the time that Javi is supposed to be recognized for his first at bat and his first game back at Wrigley Field since he was traded. So sit down and
shut up
and let him get
go back home.
Go back home and go to sleep, Shea, and let him get his don't be the story, Shea. Just sit down and check yourself and let him be the story.
I have 2 thoughts. First of all, if you boo, that just takes time away from you drinking. Because if you're using your mouth to boo, you're not using your mouth to drink a cold beer. Secondly, Tyler, I would think if you're going to be offended by Shea booing, since you're taking him, and I would assume you're not charging him, he's got to buy all the refreshments. And if he's buying all the refreshments, he can boo his ass off all he wants.
So
that's fair, right?
Yeah, I guess.
If he's buying the beverages, let him boo.
Personally, I don't care if he boos. If he was a Cubs fan, I'd have a problem with it. But since he's not a Cubs fan, I don't really care.
Okay, so you would have a problem if a Cubs fan stood up and booed.
If I brought a Cubs fan and it's Javi's first game back,
okay,
I would have a problem.
Do you understand what I'm saying as the time and the place?
Yeah, well, okay. And
if it was just another game, fine. If it was on the South Side, fine. Do go ahead. If it was just another Cubs game, this is his first game back, and he's getting recognition, for goodness sake. Let him have a moment. You don't think he's upset the way he's been playing?
Well, I was going to say, he's going to step forward, and as soon as he tips his cap to say thank you, he's going to swing at a ball that's 5 feet out of the zone.
I believe so. The Tigers are also on the South Side after they face the Cubs for 3 this week. I believe Shea's going to 3 of these games.
Go boo there, Shea. You'll have plenty of opportunity to boo your ass off.
I think if he's going to do the booing at Wrigley, he has to wear a Tigers hat.
Oh, he'll be wearing a Tiger.
Yeah, okay, no, I'm just saying, as long as people can identify why he's booing.
Yeah.
And if people see him there,
I wonder if people around us are going to say something. I bet people around us say something about him booing today.
No fights, especially after we just had this conversation about stadium fights. I do not want any fighting, Tyler. And if someone hits him, you walk away.
I'm pulling my phone out.
Don't protect him.
Time out. If somebody hits Shea, Tyler better jump in and defend his teammate.
What's the win for Tyler?
Yeah, my ass is going to be the one that ends up getting the most
the win? What's the win? First of all, Tyler is going to get in trouble. Tyler will probably get his ass kicked. No, but Tyler, I mean.
No, I agree with you.
What a teammate you are. Look, what are you tuck and run? Is that what you're promoting?
This is the same guy over here, Waddle, who whenever there was a fight in the bar would go to the bar and steal drinks.
True.
So now all of a sudden he's criticizing me, telling Tyler to get his ass out of there.
If I didn't think that Mike Bumpus and the fellow offensive linemen couldn't handle themselves against the locals, I would have maybe dove in. But since I had a an interest in
You
free
had-
booze.
you had an alcohol problem back then, too?
Well, maybe. You're openly promoting. Like, those guys didn't need my help. If Shea's just one guy getting his ass wailed on, Tyler, you better step in.
I don't think Shea needs my help, though. Like,
Yeah,
Shea's a big dude.
And what's Tyler going to do?
What are you going to do? Turn and run?
What's Tyler going to do?
You're going to try to get the guy who's trying to beat Shea's ass off of him.
And then tomorrow it's going to be in the news that Tyler Aki from ESPN 1000 was
protecting his teammate.
That never comes out in the wash. It always comes out that he was just arrested for fighting at Wrigley Field.
I don't care what
knows.
the Tribune says. It's what's in your heart.
Pat Tomasulo on the WGN Morning News tomorrow showing his video.
You're going to make your decision to support one of your teammates based on the headline in the newspaper tomorrow?
I don't think it's a win for Tyler. I don't think anything can go right.